Senior Charlie Grimm will die after a prop malfunction during the high school's presentation of the Gallows.
What's going on?
There's no tape in here.
Someone died in the school?
So you managed to do something which is really hard in today's day and age, is make a good horror movie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really, really good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I imagine a film like this versus a typical studio film. There's so much more planning that goes into this, right?
It was very, I mean, especially when our crew was as small as it was.
Yeah.
We had to plan not just the stuff that directors typically plan, with working with the actors and things, but everything else, when's catering showing up, when are we going to set the lights up? We got to get there early to, set up the C-stand, or we didn't have C-stands, but you know what I mean? But
like the scene and everything, yeah.
Our crew was so small that we had to plan all these other things too, so it was challenging.
There's a moment in the film at the end, not right at the end, but right before the end, a scene that takes place on stage where I'm like, oh no, they're going there, they're going to ruin it. And there's a twist there that you just don't know what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden you're like, they sewed it up so well. And that's the most frustrating thing, is when you go to a horror film and there's all these unanswered questions. Mm-hmm. You had unanswered questions, but they were the right ones that opened it up for more Gallows.
Right.
But you sewed it up really well. And that has to do with the writing and the planning. How much fun was this to write?
It was a lot of fun. And I'm really glad that you really recognize that, because we really did take special care to try to make sure that we answered the ones that needed to be answered.
But there's stuff there that when I thought about it, I'm like,
still plenty to talk about.
The right stuff is lingering,
exactly.
And the right stuff was answered. But yeah, we had a great time kind of developing the story and talking about it. He was in LA at the time, and I was in Central California in Fresno, and we were talking back and forth, and I finally convinced him to move up to Fresno, because that's where movies are being made these days, right? But they are, I guess. So
they are now.
And we continued to develop it more, and we did some test filming, and we really took the time that we felt we needed to make sure that we could do it in a solid way that would have people really happy with the results, and horror fans really excited.
Well, you have a horror fan here that was very happy.
Awesome.
They did a great job on the Gallows.
Will you make a copy for us as well?
I'll have to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, Bob.
Your casting was really well done as well. Ryan, I mean, this is the guy that I hated in high school. So, it really, really came across. And I said this to your crew, to your cast before when I interviewed them. I really had a sense when I watched this that I'm looking at an up-and-coming group of Hollywood actors that are on their way out.
We've always hoped that. And we picked people who fit the characters we had in mind, our friends that we had in high school. Everyone knows a Ryan, everyone knows a Cassidy. They had those friends in high school, or they were those people in high school. And we just wanted to get people who matched that, who fit right in.
And we do believe, as we've gone through the process, we believe that, man, each one of these guys has a real shot at being something big and doing stuff for a very long time in the industry. So, and we hope that pans out for them, and us too.
Obviously. Is there plans for more Gallows?
We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so. We obviously wanted to put everything we could into making this the best movie we can.
Mm-hmm.
We could, and if Charlie comes back, we will be there for
I have a funny feeling. To me, this reminds me when I saw Paranormal Activity that we're going to get more Gallows. I think you guys are onto something.
We hope so.
I commend you.
So.
Thank you for making something very scary.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
And there's a neat story about that, is that we actually we're kind of wholesome guys. We didn't want to get too violent with things, and we actually shot this movie to be PG-13.
Okay.
Because there's no nudity, there's no sex or drugs or reference to drugs. Language is within PG-13 guidelines, and it's funny is that when we got back word from the MPAA, they just basically said this is too dang scary for a PG-13, so they threw back an R rating at us. That was one of the things that we didn't plan on.
Yeah.
Although we'll take it as a compliment.
I'm getting us out of here. Hey, Charlie!
Don't say his name.
Don't say his name. Charlie, please.
You shouldn't say that name.